Live from Studio D on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. This is Sooner Sports Pack, brought to you by Slim Chickens. And now, here's your host, Chloe Sparks.
Welcome to Sooner Sports Pack, everyone. Another Monday night here with us, and it's a women's show. We've got Sydney Bollier here with us as an analyst, and then Caroline Grace. Girl power, right? Like so many of OU's sports, women's gym is number one, and they're only heating up as they're about to head into this Big 12 championship, taking down Iowa State this past weekend before they reign over everyone. The Sooners took the all-around title on Saturday, along with 3 of 4 event titles. Senior Anastasia Webb earned the event title for bars, scoring a 9.925, the event title for floor with a 9.95, and the all-around with a 39.65. The ladies stuck 5 of 6 dismounts on bars, landing a 49.45 in the first rotation, and it doesn't stop there. On vault, Oklahoma tallied a solid 49.35 with a 9.9 from Catherine Lavasseur and another almost perfect 9.9 from Webb. And the Oklahoma softball team is at it again, starting with a Hall of Fame Classic doubleheader. Friday, the ladies Sooners pounded the University of Houston 9-1. Yep, that was a run rule. They got off to a hot start with 5 runs in the first inning, highlighted by Grace Lyons' 2-run homer. Her 9th of the season. Not to be upstage, Talon Snow smacked a 3-run jack. That was her first of the year. The second game of the doubleheader was a little more competitive. The undefeated squad edged Kansas 6-2, but it was actually a little closer than that score would suggest. The Kangaroos had the lead after 4 innings, but the Crimson and Cream rose to the top, right? How about 5 runs on 6 hits in the final frame? Absolutely relentless. And how about this stat? The Ladies Sooners have outscored their opponents 246-21 this season. Almost seems impossible, but they do it. Now that's the women. Let's talk about the men. Yesterday was Selection Sunday for March Madness, and OU became ranked 8th seed. What do you guys think about that?
You know what? I'm really liking this seeding. I like 8th seed. I think I'm very comfortable with it. And the reason why is that Mizzou and Oklahoma have something very similar. They both had very strong Februaries, but they've also tapered off now going into March. So it's going to be very important. I think it's a very even matchup. Mizzou has a very good defense, but I think OU will show them a stronger defense than they've seen all season in the SEC, and that starts with key player Davion Harmon. If he plays the way he should be, this defense is going to be rocking. Now, if OU plays like they did in the first half of the Kansas game where they shot for 25%, they'll stand no chance. But I don't think they're ever going to have a game like that again this season. I think that the Sooners are going to take it. Now, I really like this matchup right now. We'll worry about this one because I really don't want to talk about what's going to happen if they win playing Gonzaga, but I'll take it for now.
Sydney, great point about the defensive players. And while the 8th seed isn't too shabby, I think that it could be better. I don't know about you guys, but I was honestly shocked to see OU ranked that low. Yes, they've lost the last 5 out of their 6 games, but they should have at least snagged the 6th or 7th seed. Texas and Kansas are good teams. If they see them later on in the tournament, they're going to win that 3rd matchup. And the last couple of weeks just doesn't reflect how good OU actually is. Missouri is a great matchup, and I think that if they can show up and really play this game like they know how to, then that's going to be a more accurate representation of how talented they are.
Both great points. And now, as always, it's time to point out our Sooner Standout Athlete of the Week. For this week, I'm going to have to take it back to that matchup in Iowa with women gymnast Carrie Thomas. Now, Thomas earned the Bean title with a 9.95 on Saturday in Ames, a career high for her. The Sooners stuck 5 of 6 dismounts to earn a 49.45 in the first rotation, as I mentioned. But what you didn't know was that it was Thomas nailing her dismount for a team high of 9.9, anchoring the Sooner victory. This multi-skilled gymnast began at the University of Maryland in 2018, and now with Oklahoma, the senior is nationally ranked for 2 things: number 12 on beam and number 14 on bars. Yeah! Now that's a standout Sooner. Can you guys top that?
I'm hoping so. Well, it was a beautiful weekend this past weekend in Norman to play some baseball, and junior captain Tyler Hardman took full advantage of that and went absolutely lights out. Yesterday, the boys played a doubleheader against Arkansas State, and thank goodness for this guy. On just Sunday, he reached base in all 11 plate appearances. And just in the past week, he's made 13 consecutive plate appearances. So listen to this. Hardman became the first Sooner since 2010 to register all 4 different hits in a game. First he homered, then he doubled, then he singled, then he tripled. Not only that, but he was the first player since 2013 of the Sooners to have 5 hits in a game. His performance was also just so clutch that he also earned himself Big 12 Player of the Week.
Sydney, it was a beautiful weekend, and I don't think there's enough good things to say about this OU softball team, which is why I'm picking my Sooner Standout Athlete of the Week is sophomore catcher Kenzie Hansen. Wow, sorry, that was a mouthful. But not only is she a phenomenal catcher, but she also continued her 6-game hitting streak with an RBI single on Saturday, then finished the weekend accounting for 3 of the 7 home runs that the Sooners had in their game against Liberty yesterday. She also hit a season high of runs scored and home runs. And you guys, you know what the best part about all of this is? She's just a sophomore, so we get to hold on to her for a little while longer.
So many Sooners that we could definitely pick to stand out this weekend, every weekend actually. There's just so many great sports and athletes here at this school. But you're going to want to stick around because coming up we've got Tony Madrigal, the 133-pound wrestler, the junior from Illinois.
It's presented by Slim Chickens. Slim Chickens tenders are always fresh, cooked to order, and made from 100% all-natural premium chicken. Buttermilk marinated, hand-breaded, and cooked to perfection every time. Use the Slim Chickens app and order for curbside pickup, delivery, dine-in, or drive-thru. Fresh, delicious chicken. Slim Chickens. Get Sooner sports news and talk on demand whenever you want with the Sooner Sports Podcast. Exclusive interviews, post-game shows, and all things Sooner Sports. Subscribe today at Soonersports.com/podcast. The Sooner Sports Podcast is presented by Riverwind and Allstate.
To our Cornerstone Television partners, OU Health, Anheuser-Busch, and the OU College of Professional and Continuing Studies, and our community partners, Landers Auto Group, Coca-Cola, and OU Health.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. We're here to talk with you and Tony Madrigal, the only wrestler to enter a Big 12 tournament unseeded and then come out to help win a championship. Sooner Sports Pad's Kimber Ball was lucky enough to get a hold of him before he began competing in the NCAA tournament this week. Let's give it up for Tony.
Thank you guys so much. And tonight we are joined by OU wrestler Tony Madrigal. Tony, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
So you guys are coming off of the Big 12 tournament where you won a share of OU's first Big 12 title in over 19 years. What did that mean to bring that title back to the University of Oklahoma?
You know, it was big because it's something they haven't done since 2002. So it's it shows that we are improving and we're continuing to get better year by year.
You made waves in the tournament as the first unseeded wrestler to ever make it to the Big 12 finals. Did going into the tournament unseeded leave a little bit of a chip on your shoulder or create any extra motivation going into the tournament?
I knew I didn't have the best year, so I knew I wasn't gonna get seeded high. But for me, it kind of just made it feel like, hey, I got nothing to lose. I'm not expected to do good. So I just went out there and just did what I have to do.
Yeah, I mean, well, it showed in your performance, and that helped you guys snag that Big 12 championship and helped lift your coach, Lou Rosselli, to Big 12 Coach of the Year. What did it mean for you and the team to see your coach recognized for all his efforts this season?
You know, it's awesome because, like, we know how much work and, like, how good he is, like, to get up, like, what he does to get us better in the room and, like, outside. So it's, like, to see him succeeding, seeing all his hard work that he does for us, like, paying off for each and one of us is awesome to see.
I know you said you used that motivation as being unseeded and your season to go into the Big 12 tournament. Now, after your great performance in the tournament, what's your mentality like in setting up preparation for the NCAA tournament?
You know, for me, I'm just keeping the same mindset. You got to take one match at a time and like, just go out there and just give it my all. Like, I know me and my coaches know that if I wrestle to my ability, I'm very good, and that's all I have to do.
Tony, we'll be watching. We're all super excited for you to compete in the NCAA tournament. Thank you so much to Tony Madrigal from the OU wrestling team for talking to us tonight. Back to you guys in the studio.
I can't imagine there wasn't a team who suffered from COVID challenges this season. OU men's basketball being one of those. Miles Smith covered a story of how they've learned to cope with the challenges faced from an inconsistent roster.
They gotta go. They're taking too long. Reeves for the win. Got it!
It's only been a year since the Sooners clinched a spot in the March Madness tournament. Now, it's been an absolute roller coaster of a season for OU, with lineups changing every other week due to unprecedented times.
Not knowing from one game to the next exactly who you have, and more than that, it kind of affected our guys too when they came back out of isolation or quarantine, because some bounced back a little bit more quickly, others took a bit longer, so you're not really sure. It's not the same for everyone.
One guy who stepped off the bench and into the starting five showed he could compete at an elite level.
I've been shocked all year for the accomplishments that we've had. We're kind of going through a tough stand right now. Losing 4 straight. But I think we're a good enough team to bounce back from that, and they only give you challenges that you can handle as a team, and I think we're going to handle it just fine going into the conference tournament.
Coming into the tournament dealing with setbacks and guys in and out of the rotation, the Sooners finally realized their identity as a team.
As a season so far, I feel like we've had a really good year. I think, 5 wins over top 15, 4 wins over top 15 opponents. I mean, it hadn't been done since 1980-something. So things like that that we'll look back in the future and just be like, wow, like we was a part of that.
Although this team had some rough patches throughout the season, they managed to secure a spot in the tournament, putting the world on notice about how special they are.
There's always that possibility you could drop 2, 3, 4 in a row. And I mean, that's what we did, honestly. I mean, like I said, you just got to really forget about it, move forward, and then, like I said, it's a different basketball game now. Like, you got to win games, or you're not going to be playing very long. So you got to go in with a different mindset.
There's no question that this team has the ability to go all the way.
Everyone's kind of established what they are by this point, and what works for them, and what they're going to try to do, and there really aren't any secrets to it. It's a matter of winning individual battles and getting making shots when you have the opportunity, and trying to make it tough on the other team to make shots.
This team is making a run unlike no other, and through the adversity, they still have moments to appreciate why they play in the first place.
We got great team chemistry as it is. I think the more time that we spend together, or not even together, just kind of isolated, I don't know, it kind of makes us cherish the moments that we actually have.
And as the team makes their final trip together in Indianapolis, they sit comfortably going into the dance, trying to not only repeat 2016, but reach new heights. Miles Smith, Sooner Sports Pad.
What a great story of how some guys are learning to deal with the challenges that everyone is facing. But stick around, because whenever we return, Sydney and Caroline are going to be facing off, talking Pro Day and Selection Sunday. Thanks for sticking with us as Sydney and Caroline are about to face off. So guys, for this first question, OU just had Pro Day on Friday. Who had the best showing?
So I might be taking the obvious answer here, but I'm going to give credit where it's due to big boy Creed Humphrey. Now, Sooners don't always get a huge praise during Pro Days due to their size, but wow did he, as if Creed Humphrey had not already proved what a force he was to be reckoned with. This is it. The media literally described him as Frankenstein. Vertical jump, 33 inches. Broad jump, 112 inches. And wrapped 225 pounds on the bench 29 times. Not only that, but 7.54 seconds on the three-cone drill as well. I just know NFL scouts were wowed by this guy. I'm sure there's a lot of teams going after him. I can't wait to see where he lands. He's an absolute beast.
Yeah, I'm also going to stick with the big guys, and this Pro Day was an unusual sight for the Sooner Nation because it was so defensive heavy. That being said, I'm going with a Ronnie Perkins. Yeah. Not only is he one of the best pass rushers in the country, but he was able to show up in not only size but also speed. He ran a 4.7 140 and a 4.69 20-yard shuttle. And who knew such a big guy could jump? Try 9.7 in the broad jump and a 32-inch vertical, all followed by 25 reps on the bench. He's such a developing player, so anywhere he goes, he's going to be an asset.
So many great Sooners again to pick from Pro Day. I don't even know how you guys did that, but for this second question, we're going to take it to Selection Sunday. Which matchup are you most excited to see?
I'm personally most excited to see UNC and Wisconsin battle it out. I think it's a very even matchup, and the reason why is because both of these teams have had a very struggling regular season, and they're definitely going to be looking for March Madness to change the storyline of their season. For UNC, it's a historic, prideful program that knows how to handle the national tourney. It's a chance for them to prove that they're not going to be grouped in with Kentucky and Duke in their storyline this year. They're going to prove against that. They're going to be a tough opponent for sure. UNC leads the ACC in rebounds, while on the other hand, the Badgers have allowed an average 8.6 offensive rebounds, giving up crucial points, and both teams have struggled shooting-wise. To win this game, I believe that both teams are going to have to get their shooting under control, and the winner of this game is likely going to see Baylor, so I think it's going to play out very interestingly.
I like it. But since we had to see this team so much during the season, I feel like there's only one route to go, and that's the Oklahoma State Cowboys versus Liberty. And I'm just being honest here, Cade Cunningham and the Cowboys are just exciting to watch, especially coming off of losing the Big 12 championship. They have to get back into their groove and certainly cannot take risks in the tournament. So I think we're about to see the pinnacle of Cade Cunningham's talent as well. Now, Liberty has only lost 5 games this season. They've made a name for themselves, and against every ranked opponent and Power 5 team, they've been able to keep it close. So I think this is going to be a great matchup.
I like that pick.
I'm looking forward to that one too. But now to the obvious question. I ask it every single week. Sydney, what do you have for viral video?
My favorite question and my favorite video this week. Baseball season's up and going, and the Dodgers are playing, and check out this granny at the Dodgers game. She is living. Look at her. Wait for it. She's going to dance for us, pop a move, and just wait for our special surprise at the end. Are you ready? Oh, Granny. Oh, man. I love it. I love her energy. I feel her.
Okay, for mine, I'm sure we've all played this in various different ways, but have you ever played it with a ping pong ball? Now check out this guy who's playing Jenga with a ping pong ball. I know this had to take some practice, but he hits one perfectly and leaves the rest upstanding. I don't want to know how much time this guy has on his hands, but That is just executed beautifully.
He couldn't have gotten that on the first try.
Oh, no way, no way.
I blinked and I missed it. Good thing there was a replay. Okay, so now, audience, it's your time to vote for who you think won face-off this week. If you think it was Sydney, clap for her.
Remember the granny.
Granny's got some claps for you. Now, if you think that Caroline won face-off, let's hear it. Man, that is a really close one. I wish I could give it a tie, but I just think that Sydney took it home this week.
Granny.
Caroline, maybe next time. I'm rooting for you.
Granny.
Okay, guys, but don't go anywhere because coming up, I'm going to show you some Sooner sports that you should definitely watch for this week, plus a look at the Sooner Sports Pad mailbag. OU baseball will be in Fayetteville tomorrow to step up to the plate against undefeated Arkansas at 5. On Thursday, wrestling will be competing in the NCAA tournament. Softball will begin their series with Team Mexico at home on Friday at 6. And you won't want to miss track and field in Fort Worth on Saturday to clash with 8 schools at the TCU Invitational. And Kruger's boys will host the Missouri Tigers in the NCAA tournament on Saturday at 6:25. And with all of that being said, it's time to take it to the Sooner mailbag. Let's get question 1 on the board. Okay, so of all games to watch this week, which matchup are you looking forward to most? Lindsay wants to know.
That sounds like a familiar name. I'm definitely looking forward to baseball against Arkansas. They're undefeated. It'll be interesting to see how they'll compete against a powerhouse team like Arkansas.
I think I'm going to go with softball against Team Mexico. That's a huge matchup, so I can't wait to see the girls do their thing.
Both great games you guys should definitely watch. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Sooner Sports Pad. We'll be here again next Monday, same time, same place. Thanks for joining us. Good night.